Yeah.
We're in. What the? Thing is sticking like weird.
I know.
What was that?
Mine was too. I thought it was stuck in there.
It's on this somehow. Oh, hi, babe.
Hi, babe.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Don't try to get all. Hey. Get your quiet voice on. So, we were in here yesterday and did a attempt.
Yeah.
And what happened?
We failed.
I don't know about failed. That's pretty extreme.
It just was weird.
You felt particularly weird about it.
I was tired.
You were tired. We got interrupted.
Yeah.
The kids were here. They're still here. But it was, I mean, I kind of felt this when I asked about adjusting the time, which was you're pretty tired later on in the day.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'll be fine.
That's what it was, that too. I do
later on in the day.
Better in the morning. Yeah.
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 Or later in the evening. You need your siesta in the middle of the day. And you didn't have your coffee. I mean, it was like you were literally staring at me like, I'm like, are you going to talk?
Don't do that.
So I was carrying it. And then it was kind of everywhere. It was kind of short.
It was very everywhere.
Mm.
And when we uploaded, I was like, 40 minutes of what?
Yeah. You thought it was only 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that was excruciating. It felt like 6 hours talking to you. No, I'm just kidding. It felt like 40 minutes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Kingdom and Sociology. What up?
Kingdom and Sociology. That's the 2 coffees we mess with around here.
Yeah.
Locally. Anyway, we were talking about the challenges running a gallery yesterday.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about that again?
I think we should. I think we should definitely talk about the struggles.
What is the intent of our podcast?
This one particularly?
Or just in general. Why did we do this?
To be like more personal with people, I feel like.
So they can see who we
they
are.
like, yeah, they come in here.
Hi, we're us.
Yeah.
This is us.
I
They
don't know. And I just
tell our story a bit.
Yeah. And
It
I've
was
always
fun.
wanted to do something like this. Like I've been saying we should do a YouTube channel for a long time.
Yes, you have. And I've been resistant.
Yeah.
It never was the right whatever. And like you meant more personally, like actually at home and whatnot.
Yeah.
Ella is here. You can go get some more water. Go ahead. Let us see her in the background. There she is.
She's going to want to be on this eventually.
Yeah, she definitely wants
Look
to
at
be. That's
her.
why she keeps coming through. She was waiting at the top of the stairs till we push record. And she's like, time to shine.
It's my time to
Yeah,
shine.
you going to come do a back bend on camera? Okay. So intent is to always, our intent is to get closer to God, is to do what we think we're being called to do, is to help each other get closer to God and to help whoever is watching this get closer to God.
Yeah.
Now you might watch this and not be like whatever God stuff. That's fine. It's like you can watch it and be like, I don't care about your intent. I'm just interested in the whatever.
Right.
But that's sort of our intent and goal in general with everything we do.
Yeah.
To help ourselves and everyone else get closer to God.
Yeah.
Okay. So this podcast is part of that, but also it's evolved into, and some of the ideas behind it are to talk about paintings more in depth.
Yeah.
To talk about behind the scenes, maybe more in depth. And part of behind the scenes is being honest about, because people have a perception and we hear it like, oh, you guys are killing it.
Yeah.
You're on fire. You're just like, and what it sounds like is like they think we're swimming in the dough.
Yeah.
Like we're making millions.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That's what it's, right? That's what it feels like people are
yeah.
perceiving.
Right.
And part of that's because like what do you do? What do you put on Instagram?
Yeah, but I don't even think it's that. It's like, yeah, we have a cool space, but it's not like I'm not posting hella sold photos. Like,
they feel like it to other people, though.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, who knows why they have that perception? I'm just trying to give them the benefit of the doubt that maybe it's what they're seeing on Instagram or social media in general.
Yeah.
And that this is maybe to help counter that a bit.
Yeah.
That perception to go, look, there are things that are difficult. There are things that are like that we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're not experts in this field. We haven't been doing this for years and years and have multiple successful businesses. What was that? What did I say?
Sexful.
Sexful. It's called a Pavlovian slip. That's what I really want to talk about. Whatever sex folds are. Oh, great. Graham wants to get on camera too now. What do you need, bud? Okay. There he is. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So.
Successful is, I think, what you're
yes.
saying. Yeah.
Successful. I don't know what was my sentence. So.
I don't really know.
Anyway. We don't run a bunch of successful businesses.
Yeah.
We're relatively new at this, and we're new at it. Like 2019 is when I quit my job. It's 2022 right now. It's been literally like since I quit my job. It was April 2019, and now it's July, almost August 2022.
It literally seems like it's been like 10 years, though.
It feels like that because it's been a lot of different
yeah.
changes and stuff. It also feels like it's gone very fast, which is an indicator we're doing the right thing. When time's flying, it's like you're having fun. But it's like it doesn't feel like it's going slow, because when it's slow, it's when things are painful, you're suffering, and like, oh, this is taking forever. You don't want to be in the place you're in.
Yeah, which we have a lot of that here.
I have a lot of perspective of that. I don't have a lot of that now. I don't have a lot of this is dragging on.
Okay. I kind of do.
You do when you're sitting in here, there are moments. When you're in the gallery, that's one of the challenges of being in a gallery when nobody comes in.
Yeah.
And you're open and you got signs and there's people walking down on Sutter and you're going, there's nobody coming in here.
Yeah.
For hours and hours and hours, and you're like, and it makes you, even though you're in a beautiful space, not want to be in the space anymore.
Yeah.
It's like lonely. It's like, what do I do? It's boring. And there are things we do. There's plenty of things we do. But cleaning, posting, you can't just keep cleaning all day. What are you laughing?
Cleaning, posting.
Yeah. That's it. Well, that's part of the problem. Is going, what else can I do to help the business be more successful while I'm here? So for me, I try to create.
Yeah.
I'll do drawings. I've tried painting. That didn't really feel right. But I'm trying to do things that are creative. I also did the Feeble stuff.
Yeah.
So we have a Feeble Instagram, which is like more of a truth ministry.
So good, yeah.
And it's called Feebleverse. And then there's the art stuff, which is like, and I don't even post the drawings, and you don't post them that often either. But I do drawings, like sketches.
Yeah,
and there's been some people tend to like them, so I'm like, oh, I'll do more. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Which is another mystery of this business. I don't know what's going to sell.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily do things because, oh, this is going to sell.
Right.
There's a bit of that. There's like, I would like to feed my family, so the market, meaning what people tend to buy, like, do I do more of that? But it's not always that. Again, I pray about it, and it's not always, I'm trying to please God, not the market. And if pleasing God is not making money, that's okay. That's how it's always been.
Which it feels like often.
It feels like that's what he wants. He wants me not to make money. Own a business, but don't make money.
But make very, very little money.
The biblical story that comes to mind is the when God's leading the Israelites out, and I think is, to be fair, I don't know exactly who the people are, but his people out of Egypt or something, and he's in the desert for 40 years with the people, and the people are following God, and he's dropping bread from the sky every day for 40 years, and they're going like, first like, are you gonna give me bread tomorrow? This is crazy and dangerous. And like, I got you.
Yeah.
And then they're also going, where's the meat?
Yeah.
Like, come on, where's the?
Like
he's
this
going,
for 40 years.
Yeah, and like, come on, like, we want to feast,
right?
not just have enough to live off of.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what God chose to do. Who are you to complain?
Yeah.
And you don't deserve any of it. So part of existing in this space when things get tough mentally is to remember, like, it could be way worse. And if this is the call and it's to sit in this gallery for years and years and years and just barely make it, is that enough?
Yeah.
That's the real, like,
I mean,
enough?
it has to be enough if that's what he's calling us to do.
Because you can complain. You can go, no, it's not enough. You can say no.
Then what though?
Then what?
It's not enough. Give me more.
God.
Come on, God.
Yeah, but that's what you're doing. That's what we're doing when we complain.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that story makes me go, well, this is better than the desert, and I'm getting fed better than bread.
Yeah.
And as far as money-wise, kind of bread is the money. It's like we just get just enough.
Right.
We haven't had to close.
Yeah.
We haven't had to borrow money.
Right.
We just make enough to pay our bills. It's been like that for months. So another thing is like,
I actually lean on that, like that we've done this all on our own. Like we have gotten money from nobody.
Oh yeah, there's nobody that's donated money or we haven't borrowed any.
Yeah.
And it's not all on our own. Definitely God has his hand on, but
no,
other people.
Mean, yeah, obviously God, but.
And other people have stepped up, like the people that helped us out with this place.
Yeah.
And I also think like anybody who's bought anything is helping us out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm giving them a thing, but they're giving us.
Right. Yeah.
So that
I guess that's not what I mean. I mean like.
We're not getting loans and we're not borrowing money.
Yeah.
And we're not taking handouts.
Yeah.
We'll take
and
them.
nobody's like
we will take handouts. Yeah, we'll take them though.
We'll take
donations,
investments.
Come on, 3 people that watch this. Come on,
grants.
But anybody who's bought anything is
pledges
and volunteered their time, energy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Peanut has volunteered a bunch of time. Sanchez.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, but we don't have a ton of volunteers and we don't have a ton of financial help from like a institution or grants or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a story, the manna in the desert that helps give perspective. And that's really a lot of it is perspective. You start getting in this like, it's a struggle to not know when the next thing is to get paid because we don't get paychecks.
Right.
And so one of the things that humans want is security. And one of the ways we get it in our current society is financial security. But that's kind of always been having an abundance of something so that if times get scarce, you don't feel it.
Right.
Right.
Like toilet paper.
Like toilet paper in the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a fun, like, really? That's the thing? I get what you're saying. I was thinking more like on Alone, the guy who's keeping fish, smoking it, or you smoke the deer and you have it in winter when hunting is more scarce.
Yeah.
But what people have is bank accounts. They have retirement fund. They have, and I think the real is that security is not as secure as you think because money's values depend on the market.
Yeah.
And things change so much, and like health and random accidents. It's an illusion of security, really. But there is something like, no, when you have a bunch of money in the bank, it feels better, you know, right?
Yeah.
So, and we just haven't had that for a long time.
Yeah.
we had it when we sold our house,
Mm-hmm.
and that security left fairly quickly.
Yeah.
But here we are. So our struggle is sales. We're not salespeople.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't even like to talk.
Facts.
In general, right? That's one of the things.
Yeah.
And I don't like to feel like I'm trying to convince anybody of anything, especially if it's like, buy my stuff.
Yeah. I wonder if people would disagree with that.
I don't like to convince people.
That you don't like to convince people and that I don't talk a lot.
Probably. I mean, for instance, like we brought in the business person, Rodney.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, no, you guys are so far from being pushy salespeople. You shouldn't worry about that. You could do a lot more.
Right.
And you still wouldn't be pushy.
Right.
Like when people come in the gallery and we're like, hi. And then that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. I pray about my interactions, and I have been doing this at the other gallery, and I'm not there going like, how do I get a sale out of them? It's not my intent. My intent is to like serve them and like
make
always
them feel comfortable
and to get me closer to God and them too. So whatever they need.
Yeah.
And a lot of them come in, they want to talk, they want to share, they just want to be left alone to really look at it. And that I'm feeling all the time, and I'm okay with that. I'm not, in some sense, I mean, people that come in and are just deeply touched is enough to keep it going. Mm-hmm. It's an encouragement. Mm-hmm. This is something about when I was showing my work at another gallery, and they're like, "Oh, people love your stuff," and they're talking about all the time. It's like, I don't hear it, so I'm like making stuff and not hearing any feedback.
Yeah.
And in here, I get to see it live, or you tell me. So that feedback is super. It's good. So coming in and just really messing with it. I mean, you could tell when people are authentic. They're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
So that's like encouragement, because I don't have to. It's not like your mom coming in, this is so cool. Like, and nothing against your mom or a mom, but moms are like rooting for you. They're supposed to be like, oh, this is really cool.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
So you can't tell if it's like, is this just mom being nice and like, my son's the best, and like, they're not, you know?
Yeah.
Or is it like, a stranger just comes in, they're just quiet. They don't have to say anything. They just can leave. Just not come in. Mm-hmm. But when they stick around and they're like, oh, and asking questions and cry and get moved, it's cool.
Yeah.
So another thing is like, I'm not even a business person naturally, in that I don't think about things through the lens of business. And I have to remind myself to not say like, I'm not good at business, because that's not necessarily true. Mm-hmm. And it's like a false narrative that stops me from getting better at business. I have to be open to, okay, I've been running a business. It's been successful, and I'm not even necessarily trying to be businessy, but I'm feeding a family professionally off of what
You're not even trying to be successful either, really.
Well, I am trying to be successful in that I can keep doing it and keep serving God, and I don't have to give it up. Mm-hmm. But I'm taking risks all the time that are not business savvy risks. Yeah. And I'm also not pursuing every lead and not actively trying to get leads. Yeah. Or we rely wholeheartedly on word of mouth and organic. And we've tried to look at other stuff, like the more aggressive advertising. It's not the call, and it doesn't feel as good. It doesn't seem to pan out as much. Like
like the emails.
Emails are just like random ads and putting stuff places. It's like little bits help with attention, but just to like mass advertise, like, I don't know. So we can be patient and let it go the way it's going. Mm-hmm. And if we had somebody who was more business to do that part, it would probably do better. I mean, we felt it a bit when Ellen was here.
Yeah. But also,
It was a lot of hype and not a lot of substance.
yeah. And we've been doing it naturally for this long and have some really good clients.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like,
Amazing clients.
yeah.
Like the people that mess with us are like, whoa, that's
Yeah.
really cool. It's really, really been an awesome part. Okay. So what do you struggle with the most about
the
this
business?
currently? What did you struggle with before? What are you struggling with now?
Before what?
Before you started being more active and out front.
Before I was active and out front, I was a stay-at-home mom.
Right, but you still sort of watched the business, were part of it, supportive in it.
Yeah.
You still were messing with Facebook posts and dealing with, and you still were like reaching out at times, but it wasn't like now where you're like, okay, now I'm going to like full in. Like it was sort of, maybe it was like you were mostly mom and a bit business, and now obviously you're still mom, but kids aren't as needy. They're not as young. So you're like more business.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the thing.
Yeah. Before, I didn't really have any negative feelings about the business. I was too busy with the kids, and negative feelings were coming from them.
And family.
Yeah, and family.
Okay.
And so, I don't know. I didn't really feel the struggle of like owning your own business until I started being here.
Got it. And then what are you currently struggling with? What's hard about it?
Like just
Why don't you think about I don't mean to cut your thought off because you're going to get there, but you worked at a restaurant
yeah.
recently.
Yeah.
And then you came here, and what's the contrast?
It's just very busy there.
And you liked that.
Yeah. I liked talking to strangers, feeling appreciated.
Serving.
Yeah, mainly
having
serving.
a very clear task to do and doing it and getting rewarded.
Yeah. And that's like something that I can do that you don't necessarily like is like, and I've said it before, like I don't mind clocking in and clocking out and having a boss. Like that does not bother me at all.
Right.
So being here, it's like not busy. Like I hardly talk to anybody. So it's like kind of lonely. I think, I don't know. I don't know if I really feel lonely.
More lost.
Yeah.
Like what am I supposed to be doing?
Yeah. And I'm like constantly like, is this going to work? Let's just quit now. Like this is stupid.
That's self-talk.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's also like you were saying, like about the bread, like focusing on the future instead of just like worrying about today. Like I have bread today and like tomorrow's tomorrow. So I've been trying to do that.
How's that going?
I don't know. It's like day 2.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. And it's not like you can come in here and buy a $7 cup of coffee. It's like
everything's expensive.
Yeah, everything is expensive.
We have various price points, but it's like t-shirt, book.
Art is like
and
not.
Then we do have price points, but yeah, it's not, and it's not needed.
Yeah.
It's like all like.
It's not like coffee where like.
Groceries or.
Yeah.
Getting your oil changed or your car worked on or windows replaced in your house or things that sort of most people need to do at some point.
Yeah.
This is a luxury to be able to buy art. And most people we know don't ever buy art. I think the majority of population don't buy art.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the world.
Yeah.
And there's a very small group of people that get to a place in their life where they're like, okay, I have all my basic needs taken care of and I have a surplus now I want to spend some money on some art. Now, there are people that don't have a lot of money, but they find the value of it, and they're like, I'm going to make this happen.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like a big chunk of their income. Like, I don't care. It's like,
yeah.
it's worth it to spend on art. It moves them like people spend on going to a concert of music. I mean, people do spend on art, but to buy a chunk of art, a painting, a sculpture, like, oh,
yeah.
a piece
And
of
it's
custom
like
furniture.
you can just go to Home Goods and buy something cute for like $60.
That's right. Yeah. But that's your struggle, because you're in your own mind going, if I would never, like, and I'm going like, I'm not making stuff for me necessarily. Now I make it in that I want to like it. I'm making it because I want to please God. I want it to be objectively good, but I'm not making it thinking about the client, or it's more like, would I want this in my space, or does this move me, or I don't,
Yeah.
And that's something that it sounds like you have a hard time getting outside of, like what you would do versus what the way, like, and even with the art, like the way you view the art versus how it's intended, or someone else looks at it. Like food. You're
I get it, but
I don't want
different.
octopus.
It's getting different.
You've changed.
Yeah, I've
no,
changed,
I'm saying, but I'm saying in general, that's how human beings approach things, is with their subjective lens, what they bring to the table, and you've had to be stretched a lot in this world. Being married to me in general, you've had to be stretched a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's working.
Yeah.
But like, you aren't an art fan on your own. You don't go to museums. You don't look at art on your own.
Yeah,
you're not
no.
like, I'm into art for art's sake. You're not you're not an artist yourself.
I don't even like art museums.
Right. And neither do I, actually. I don't, and I'm not a real big fan of art, but I know more of it. I've looked at it. I do it, but I'm not. People, I think, make the false assumption like, oh, you're an artist, so you're an art fan. And it's like, no, I'm an artist because I'm not an art fan. For me, I'm a doer and a maker, not a like fan. I'm just not a fan in general.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoy music, but I'm not super stoked on going to a concert. I'm not like, oh, like, I want to do things, and I'm built that way, and so this suits me, and I actually don't want to have a lot of influence on. So one of the struggles, I guess, is when people come in and make a bunch of assumptions. It's a lot like tattoos. Like, I have tattoos, and people go, oh, you have tattoos. This happened in teaching a lot. And the kids are like, oh, you have tattoos. And the assumption is you like them, you love them, and you want to talk about them, and you want to hear about my tattoos. And I'm like, none of that's true. I don't like my own tattoos. I think I wish I didn't have them. I didn't. I've thought about this, studied it, prayed about it, and I think it had wrong motivations getting them. I think people in general do. So it's like, actually, I'm not ashamed of them, but I'm like not into them at all.
Yeah.
It was like a phase I'm not proud of life.
I like them though.
I know you do, but but you see what I'm saying? Like,
no, I get it.
It seems like an obvious, like, oh, you have tattoos, therefore, and so it's like, oh, you're an artist, therefore, and it's like, well, hold on. I think that's what people get in trouble with a lot. They make assumptions about stuff, and it's like, hold on, where did you get that assumption?
Yeah.
Which is what we're talking about as far as the gallery. People assume that we're killing it because we have a dope spot on Sutter Street. Like, you're killing it.
Yeah.
And in some way we are, in that we do have a dope spot. We're it's working on some level.
Yeah.
And it's very, very, there is no pathway for this. There's like, I don't know anybody doing this anywhere close to what this business model. I know galleries that sell do you hear that?
Yeah, it's the kid's phone.
I know people that sell other people's arts. Oh my. I know that kind of gallery model.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard of people selling their own art, but like, and not this particular art and not this town. And it's very rare. I think it's just a very rare thing we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so people don't even know what to do with it in some sense.
Yeah.
So we're talking about our struggles. I don't want to get the wrong idea like we're ungrateful. We're very grateful.
Mm-hmm.
It's like amazing and again perspective, but it's also like there's struggles that you just don't get, that you don't understand what it's like to make a bunch of art and not sell most of it.
Yeah.
It feels like there's always art on the wall. Oh, it's so cool. It's like, yeah, but it's not sold. So it's like on some level, it's like it's inventory sitting.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to move all of it
And
today
make new stuff.
and make new stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so, but then stuff will sit for years and then it's all of a sudden it'll sell.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck? So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hard one for me. It's hard to stay motivated when there's nowhere to put things.
Yeah, I know.
And then we're like working on trying to have events here. That's a whole nother thing. Cause like, oh, I'm an artist, but I also make pizza and serve wine to you.
You're a great, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like okay. So that's these are like hits on ego, I guess. But it's like, I'm okay. I'd rather do that. I honestly would rather do a lot of things than go back to having a boss and working for somebody else. But I would do that too if it's a call. I'm not above it.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice not having to do it.
Yeah.
Got anything that you want to?
No, not right now.
One of the things that I remember that's interesting about now with you and this is I have been doing this for longer than you, as far as being way out here and having the burden of making money and like I don't know if this is going to work and just keep plugging away at it. This is brand new to you in some sense, to see the books, to see what it's like to not sell. Like you were insulated and now you're not.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this is, and so I'm going, yeah, this is what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bruh.
Yeah.
Allah.
Yeah.
Where do you think? Is it leftovers? Okay.
Just leave it on one of those benches or something.
No, go put it in the kitchen. Do that. And watch out for the cords, please. And how you feeling
Good.
now?
Got my coffee.
Get your coffee. You're not just staring out in space. That's good.
Mm-mm.
I love you. I love you, son.
What?
You get no love on camera. You caught that.
What the? Bruh. That's messed up.
Come give your mama a hug. All right.
What the fuck? It's messed up. That's fine.
It's okay.
I'm glad that they love you so much.
They love you too so much.
I
Don't
know.
even.
I know.
I feel like there's more to that.
To what? Oh, yeah.
I lightweight enjoy seeing you struggle a bit with this, because I'm like, it gives me like, hello, I've been doing this.
Yeah, I get that.
And I'm going, it is hard.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you're working out now. Yeah, it's hard, right? You feel
Yeah.
sore all the time. So like, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's a grind.
Yeah.
This is a grind in that way.
Yeah.
And it's mental.
Yeah.
As much as the physical, it's super. And people say, oh, it's a mental. It's spiritual. It's psychological. Mm-hmm. And I would not be doing this if I was not called to, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm claiming that I'm
Neither would I.
called to.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
that we're being led this way.
Yeah.
And this is what God wants from us. But it doesn't mean that this is going to be successful. That's a huge, like, just because God is behind it doesn't mean that we're going to have a successful as far as like long, like he might go, nope, time to open an orphanage. Nope, time to go work at Kmart. Kmart is like Walmart, but from my era, for those people that
Which we've talked about that. We talked
What?
about opening an orphanage before. I'd be totally down with that call.
Yeah, you've talked about it, and I'm like, yeah, no.
What?
Kids, no. Sorry. Find a new parent. Mine are enough. No, I mean, if it was the call, but it's not something I'm like, that does not sound fulfilling necessarily. Some ways it does, some ways it doesn't. It sounds like a lot of craziness.
Yeah.
Kids are hard. They need a lot. There's a lot of, like, and that's another thing. Like, you go, oh, I'd be down, but it's like, do you understand how much you don't like messing with your kids?
I get that, but there's something to be said about like a child who is a literal orphan who probably appreciates things more than our spoiled brat kids.
Oh, so that's what you think.
Yeah.
Don't call our kids spoiled brats. Come on. Jeez, that's why they didn't give you a hug right there. You just walked right into that. Okay. I think that's like you imagining running a coffee shop. You're romanticizing the good parts and not thinking of the bad parts.
Yeah.
And I'm way more realist and even probably lean to pessimism, meaning like I look at all the flaws and don't add up the good parts. I'm like, whatever good parts come, cool, they'll come then.
Yeah.
But like, I'm going to count the costs as much as possible first. So for instance, when I think about going camping, I don't think about the joy of the nature and the mountains and like swimming and the kids smiling. I think about, okay, I got to go get a bunch of things, organize a bunch of things, make sure the food, I got to get everybody in the car. I got to deal with all of them fighting and being off of God, including you, and leading the family and like putting out a bunch of fires and then keeping everybody safe and then like being exhausted and having to do everything in camp as well. And then like, right. It's like that, like the s'mores part, the fun, like 2 seconds of s'mores, like not worth all the cost.
And I am like complete opposite.
Yeah. You just think
I'm
of like
s'mores.
Yeah, that's right. So that's how it is with the orphanage. You're like, oh, kids that are so needy and I can just nurture them and they're going to be so like, oh, I so appreciate you. Like, I think kids are kids and like you might get some really appreciative ones, but you're also just going to get kids that like that just hate being there, hate being alive because they're kids or whatever.
Yeah.
And then all the logistics of it. I mean, leading people to be a good human, to get to God, it's not easy at all.
I know.
It's hard to get yourself there. So leading more, like, okay, you're going to be responsible for more people. Like, what? Like, don't put that on me. Don't ask. Pass that cup, Lord, please, to somebody else.
To me. I'm just kidding.
Nah, you'll be in the bath with a glass of wine, being like, I'll be like, with all these orphan kids.
Oh my God.
Trying to get them all into bed and fed and nah. But I'm open to it if that's the call.
Yeah.
There are some people more suited for that.
Yeah.
Anyway. And think we're done?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. Feel better about this one?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Yesterday was poop.
I'm going to edit that. I'm not even going to put that in there. Okay.
Okay, bye.